Today's lesson we're adding the fundamentals in. Last week we did gun dog training, which gives you the off-leash capability on the perimeter control and immediate comes. The fundamental training, I'm sure the dogs had some, but we're just razor sharpening it. With your fiance, it's going to help big time. But what you want to do on this kind of practice session, I'd like to have a half and half session where you do the free mode on the first half of the walk, and you can unclip the leash now. I think you're reliable enough with the electric. I don't think it's going to be a big issue, providing everything's working, batteries are good and all that. But when you're walking, clap your hands, say okay, free, and that cues the dog in after about a week or so that he's off healing. Off healing mode. So when you're okay free and you go ahead and step off or change directions, it's just like you were doing the long line. It's just his name when you step off. And I'd like you to change directions at least 3 to 6 times during the first half of the walk and enforce it accordingly if you need to. And give me a couple comes, plant your feet, say come attaboy, and then tell him sit when he gets close. If he's out too far, say no. But the second half of the walk, I want you to clip the leash, back on the flat ring on the pinch collar, which should be facing his right shoulder. And at that point, slide your left hand down, palms down, thumbs in, and then the right thumb through the handle. And probably one of the key things is keep your posture good where your arms are relaxed. Subconsciously, that right will want to creep on you, but put the thumb in the pocket or pinch your pants. You'll feel yourself fighting, wanting to lift it subconsciously. But when you're walking, the definition of heel for him at this point in the walk will be to walk with his eyeballs at the heel of your left foot, step for step, and turn for turn. He should have 12 to 14 inches of slack on the left, so he has just a slight dip in there, so he has free will to mess up, kind of like the Lord gives us there. So then as you're heeling forward, say he falls behind you, looking back at a temptation, squirrel, whatever. At that point, tap your left leg and encourage him. Say, attaboy, there you go, hurry, hurry. If he ignores your encouragement, turn your face forward in the direction you're walking. Give me a double or triple momentary and say no heel, and he'll have total recall and catch right up. Say you're going straight down the path and he decides when he's heeling to pull to the left to smell something or see something. At that point, snap across your waist with your left hand and say no heel as you're walking. If the stem's too strong, hit the electric and move him back over. As you're moving, don't stop to do it. Now, there's 2 keys to challenging him mentally that makes him satiated on these heel walks. The first one I'd like you to do is to change the pace the whole walk. So you're going to speed up and slow down. Now, this is real key because it makes him think and use that brain of his, and that's what we're looking for. But when coming from the fast pace to the slow pace, count in your mind, 1 second or 1001. That's the time frame he has to make the adjustment back to the correct heel position. And you don't stop to do it, you're just changing the pace. So please don't be satisfied with a partial adjustment or reason it out in your mind like, well, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so if you slow down, it's very black and white. He's got to be within the heel to the seam of the pants, somewhere with his eye in there. If he does not make it, you're going to snap back hard and say no heel as you're walking. This creates that central focus that makes him so drained mentally. The second thing I want you to do mentally to challenge him is give me 2 slow left circles for every right turn you do on the walk. The lefts are much harder for the dog because he has to pivot, slow down, and get out of your way without touching you. Now, I'd like you to diversify the width of the circle, sometimes narrow, sometimes medium, sometimes wide, but the key ingredient is always slow. Okay? Don't speed up to make him look good. You want to go slow and make him pivot, slow down, and get out of your way without touching you. If you feel the slightest bump on your calf, knee, or thigh, he's cheating in the heel at that time. So you need to snap back and out and say no heel very quickly. And don't hold your arm back to keep him looking good. Keep your arms down and relaxed. Now, the last part I got for you on that heel assignment, I'd like you to do 3 to 5 sits each time you practice. And yes, I know he knows sit, but it doesn't seem like he does it in the correct heel position. So when you heel and come to a stop, lift the leash under your left armpit, but don't torque your chin or eyes toward him, because if you do, he'll sit wide on you. When you come to the stop, lift under your armpit, say sit, and then look over. He should be straight as an arrow next to you. And my guess is if he's between the seam of the pants and heel, we're in great shape. But give me about 5 to 8 days of practice on that, and I'd say day 9 there's no more help on the sitting. When you stop, he should sit automatically perfectly in the heel position. What I do on day 9 when I heel and come to a stop, I'll peek over and look if he's sitting. If he's not sitting, turn your face back straight, and then snap up under your left armpit about medium strength and just say no sit. What you don't want to do, don't torque your eyes or chin and snap up and say no sit or raise your voice. Okay, if he does a lot of effort and tries good, cut him off the last quarter of the walk home. Tell him, okay, free. Take his 10-inch ball or favorite toy, roll it around, throw it for him. Have a ball with the free mode. Okay, I'm really starting to trust him. I think he looks real good off leash. I think we're in great shape. I'll talk to Bethany here and see if we're doing another one or not. But good job and God bless. My cell phone is 614-595-2406.